Welcome back. Today we have the 1 month update video on my 2023 Miata Club. But if you're new to my channel, as you might be because the club has been getting a lot of attention, this is Automotive Anonymous. A little bit about me is I do physical therapy full-time in rehab facilities with a tiny bit of home health and outpatient therapy. I drive about 75 miles round trip each day to work, and I usually drive my Outback Wilderness. But a month ago, I bought this 2023 Miata Club 6-speed soft top. It's the funnest car I've driven, and I've driven a Tesla Model S Plaid, and last week I drove a Trackhawk with the Hellcat engine. I've driven a lot of things in between that and a lot of things before I started this channel last year. But honestly, the Miata is the funnest vehicle that I've had, and today it gets its first modification. So we're gonna get through that real quick, and then we're gonna go through the 1 month update and decide, was it a mistake? Am I glad that I bought it? Should you buy it? And if you have one, comment, what have your impressions been? Is it the funnest vehicle you've owned? Or is it maybe just another vehicle to you? Let's find out. Here we are, guys. We made it into Twin Falls in southern Idaho. This is the Tint lady window tinting. If you're in the area, I strongly recommend you check her out. When I first moved to around this area, she was worth the drive. There were other closer tint shops, but the reviews were not as good. Some of them said that you have to wait multiple days to get your car back, which just feels silly to me. She actually has you drive into the bay, and then I've never had to wait longer than probably an hour, and that's for a full tinting job. She has multiple people working with her. They do phenomenal work, and I've never had a concern or a complaint. But while you're waiting, let's hop inside and show you what the waiting room looks like. It's cozy, it's comfy, and even the backpack agrees it's having a good time. And then while you're waiting, you can see that the Skin Cancer Foundation recommends Tint. Not only does it make your vehicle look better, keep the temperatures down, but it's gonna help your skin, help prevent some of those nasty things that can come along with sun exposure. And you can even check out the difference that having a quality 3M tint makes. Check out how much slower this 20% color stable changes. And there it is. We eliminated the fishbowl effect. We have 35% on the front windows, 20% on the back, because that's what's legal in this area. And it looks so much better. The darker windows contrasts the white snowflake paint very well. So again, big shout out to the Tint lady. Like this video, show your support. Now it's time to teleport back to the 1 month update. Thanks for bearing with me. We are back now to review how the Miata has held up over the past month. What has my experience been? Do I still recommend it? Do I still love it like I did when I had those love goggles on during my first couple videos? We're gonna find out. But seriously, what a difference does having a little bit of tint make? I'm a little bit embarrassed to tell you guys that I've only put a little bit over 800 miles on it in my first month. That's because we've had a lot of rain, a lot of snow, and although this is a car and I'm gonna treat it as such, when I'm leaving early in the morning for work, if it's below 30 degrees, those Potenza tires, I don't want to take my chances on the highway or the interstate if they're not going to have a lot of good traction. So we're finally getting into the warmer temperatures, and it's going to be racking up some miles. But in its 802 miles, it thinks I'm averaging 34.7 mpg, which honestly should be a crime for how much fun I have been having driving this car. In its first month, there's been no incidents, accidents, or otherwise concerns, and I can guarantee that I have been getting more than 34.7 miles per gallon, because that's what ultimately matters. I don't think there's been very many drives where it hasn't kissed over 7,000 in the RPM, and it's still getting that good of mileage, which is just amazing. It's a very manageable car to own, and in comparison to that Trackhawk with over 700 horse last week, that thing's lifetime average is like 10 mpg, and it's not really that much funner than this. Only in those acceleration moments, but just cruising down the street, there's nothing I have driven that is funner than this. So again, it should be a crime to have this much fun, to be basically legal all the time, having a little street race car and doing the things you can do with it. It's extremely agile on the road, even with these stock Bridgestone Potenza tires. I know a lot of people on the forums will actually say that those aren't very sticky compared to some of the Pirellis and other aftermarket tires that you can put on, but honestly, after driving so many other regular vehicles, it handles exceptionally well, and it's insane how agile this is on the road, how quick you can do a U-turn, how quick you can move around traffic and out of the way of obstacles, or just for fun. Could you drive it for longer than 2 hours? Yeah, probably, but should you? Probably not. You really do need to stretch out, let your back and your legs, your hamstrings get some of a stretch because you are a little bit crowded in here. But it is cozy, it is comfortable, and it's really fun. Whether the top's up or down, you're going to be having a good time. As I've mentioned in the other Miata reviews, I am still exceptionally impressed that they put this dollar store rubber lining around the periphery of the engine bay, because having driven through a decent amount of rain and some light snow so far, the engine is absolutely clean. It looks fantastic. Why don't other manufacturers do that? It is so nice to be able to pop the hood and not to be worried about how dusty and how filthy it is. The last time I had a fun car was last year when I had an LS1 Trans Am. And during that ownership time frame, I owned both a Crosstrek and then a Subaru Outback Wilderness. And there have been times where I had not left the driveway in the Subaru for up to about 2 weeks at a time because I enjoy driving the fun car so much. Now that the weather's getting better, we're going to be racking up some miles, and I have a feeling that the Outback is going to be losing a little bit of love. I also want to mention, with the 5 inches of ground clearance and about a 7.5 foot wheelbase, I have not had to go sideways up any of the speed bumps that I've so far encountered, which is amazing. I was a little bit worried the first time I took one head on, but after going sideways a few times, I realized I don't actually need to, although I am careful about that front black lip with my parking spot. I think the Miata is one of the best versions of therapy that you can have. Find your favorite music genre, your favorite person, sit them next to you, and go for a drive, whether it's during the day, top up, top down, or at night. It's just a fantastic experience. And I hope you guys can see that okay, because it's not totally dark out. We do have some light coming in through the window of the garage, but look how bright those LEDs are on the low beams and the high beams. They're a lot brighter than I was expecting when I first got this car. And I'm very impressed with them. I love driving this thing at night. I've literally been finding nonsense, ridiculous reasons to go for drives just because it is such a fun experience. Even the Miata's having a good time. Check out that smile. That thing never goes away. Neither will yours. Do I have any regrets in my choice in 23 Club 6-speed Miata? Absolutely not. After tax, title, registration, all those things, this car was about 35 grand. And what fun can you have for 35 grand in many other markets? There's not really anything that competes against this at the new price point. Nothing that's a roadster, unless you're looking at like a 718 Boxster or something for triple the price. What other roadsters are in the market, especially in the US market? It's a hoot. I don't regret it for one bit. Having the reliability that this offers, it's hard to beat it. Also getting well over 30 mpg, having fun. What else are you gonna have for that price point? Sure, you could get a slightly used Coyote Mustang, a C6, a Camaro with an LT1. Heck, for a while you could almost get the C7 Corvettes for a while before COVID happened and the car market went crazy. But seriously, none of those cars are probably as reliable as the average Miata. They're more complex, more moving parts, much more expensive to maintain. Heck, just the tires you're gonna be burning through with something like that, whereas this is a lightweight roadster. Insurance can be very cheap if it's anything like my coverage, and it's easy to operate, easy to own. You're gonna want to have it for a long time. I honestly thought I was gonna keep my Trans Am for a long time because the hatchback, the big LS V8 that I did full bolt-ons to, the cargo capacity, getting decent MPG over 20, it had a lot to offer. The pop-up headlights, a lot of characteristics to it, and I wasn't sure what was going to replace it other than maybe a C6. But after I got the bug to drive a Miata and I found a 2016 ND1 to test drive, that just changed it. This driving experience is unlike anything I've had, even with all the cool stuff I've been in or driven. I am seriously so grateful to Mazda for making a roadster even in 2023. It's just a fantastic driving experience. It's tight, it's cozy, it's comfy, and it doesn't make any compromises for practicality. It does what it needs to do, which is put a smile on your face and let you enjoy the experience of driving. Most new cars have seriously become so numb, and the sensation of speed has just been diluted. This does not do that to you. You're gonna be having a good time anytime you're behind the wheel of the Miata. The driving experience is seriously so fun and fantastic. That 6-speed is smooth, but it feels real, it feels raw. You can feel it rumble and vibrate when you're in gear. You can really feel it getting in and out of gear. It's not just a numb experience like a lot of other manual transmissions these days. Just because it has a manual doesn't mean they're all made equally. Keep that in mind. Also, it's extremely forgiving. If you try to whip it around a corner, you start to lose the rear a little bit, it starts to step out. It's insane how easy it is to get it back. Just let off the gas and it's instantly gripped again. Kind of interesting how much more controllable such a lightweight car is compared to a lot of more powerful cars. When you start to lose it, it might be too late depending on your driver skill and your environment. And now it's your time to get involved. Consider liking this video if you enjoyed it, if you like my style. I have a lot of other cool content on the channel. But also consider liking it if you like high revving engines, if you like clean engine bays, or if you like front mid-engine layouts. This is seriously such a cool car, and one that I am so thankful to get to drive every day, if the weather's gonna work with it. But even just to look at it, for those of you who do like to have a garage queen of a car, I think this does a pretty good job. I drove the RF a little while ago, and that was also a fantastic car, and I understand why people buy those. But the Miata is a 6-speed soft top, rag top as it's called, fantastic platform. Comment below, tell me what your thoughts are. Have you had one? Do you want one? What are your updates? Tell me what I'm missing, what you want to see next time. I'll probably do a nighttime driving video at some point. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more, and have a fantastic rest of your day.